We have 5 more months. We have 5 more dates for the never seen 17, the last real champion, John Cena. Here are those dates. Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia on Saturday, October 11th. Monday Night Raw in Boston, Massachusetts, November 10th. Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden, New York City, November 17th. Survivor Series, Saturday, November 29th, Petco Park, San Diego, California. December 13th, Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. Saturday night's main event, his retirement match. Whether or not you've always cheered John Cena, whether or not you have always booed John Cena, or whether or not you are like me, who was peer pressured as a kid to boo the never seen 17, to cheer the anti-hero like a CM Punk, then to come to the revelation that John Cena was not trying to be Super Cena and bury all this talent, that John Cena is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. And the fact that over the past 7, 8 years, John Cena has not been full time. And every time John Cena has came back, he's brought the electricity. And that now we realize as John Cena has sort of gone away, as he predicted over a decade ago, now that obviously the likes of Roman Reigns have taken over as the head of the company and Cody Rhodes, you could make an argument that John Cena is the greatest of all time when it comes to professional wrestling, which is not just flips and kicks, but character work, promos, in ring matches, etc. In December, me and a bunch of wrestling historians, friends I know, we're all going to get together in a room. It's going to be live on the Brandon's World podcast, on the Brandon's World YouTube channel, audio version on Brandon's World. As always, we're going to be breaking down John Cena's best, John Cena's top 10 matches of his career heading into that final retirement match. Today, what I want to do is I want to lay out how I think John Cena's last 5 dates are going to go as an active competitor in WWE. Spoiler alert, in case you missed it, we already know how one of those days is going to go. It's going to be John Cena versus the phenomenal AJ Styles one final time. This time it will take place in Perth, Australia, overseas Crown Jewel on that Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. In my opinion, I'm a little bit shook by this because I did not think this was going to happen. I thought we were going to get John Cena versus Brock Lesnar in some sort of stipulation one-off match to take place to set up the War Games encounter. Now, we may need to set up the War Games encounter still, right? I've already talked about what I think Survivor Series is going to be, which I think is going to be John Cena on a team with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and one more individual, whether that is Jey Uso, LA Knight, Randy Orton. I think now AJ Styles could be involved against Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Braun Breaker, Brunson Reed, Seth Rollins of the Vision. That I think is going to be your men's War Games match. I think John Cena probably goes over Brock Lesnar, who eats the fall there. So I think we do get Cena versus AJ Styles. I think Cena probably goes over. He wins his final contest against AJ Styles, which they have not wrestled in a long time. We all remember their 2017 Royal Rumble Classic that followed their SummerSlam 2016 Classic. And now here we are over 8 years and over 9 years later, if you want to count the SummerSlam battle, to Cena AJ Styles one last time. There doesn't need to be a lot of build to this match. These two guys clearly respect each other. Let's go tear the freaking house down one last time. So I already talked to you about Survivor Series on November 29th. So then how do we get there? Well, I think John Cena comes out on November 10th in Boston, Massachusetts, his own time, the last time being in TD Garden. I do think John Cena wrestles on that night. Now, there's a lot of scenarios moving here. What would happen, what I would like to happen personally, is John Cena wrestle Dominic Mysterio and win and take the Intercontinental Championship to become a Grand Slam champion in WWE on that night. I do not think that will be the case, though. I think, again, to set up this War Games encounter where you have John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and possibly Randy Orton, LA Knight, or Jey Uso against the Vision, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre, there will be an altercation between John Cena and the Vision. And what I think will happen will be they are going to make it so then the War Games match is already going to be announced. It's going to be the Vision against Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and again, maybe Jey Uso is who they'd announce. And they were gonna tell Cody, hey, we got Drew McIntyre on our team and the Vision. You go find a fifth partner. We'll go find a fifth partner. And John Cena gets involved with the Vision, and there's a match, there's a storyline or something where John Cena will wrestle Seth Rollins, one of his arch rivals, for the final time in Boston on that Monday Night Raw TD Garden. And if John Cena wins, he gets to join Cody Rhodes' team at War Games. There'll be some sort of finish where Cena does go over Seth with all the interference. Bam, Brock Lesnar comes out F5 to John Cena. That's how we get Brock Lesnar to join Team The Vision and Drew McIntyre. Then, on the November 17th, 2024 episode of Raw Live from MSG, I think there are two scenarios here. We could either get the dream match one-on-one between John Cena and Braun Breaker, especially if Braun Breaker is not going to be the one to wrestle John Cena in his final match. Or we could get a version of, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk versus The Vision and Drew McIntyre in an eight-man tag team, or maybe it's a six-man tag team where Drew McIntyre's not involved, but it's just, maybe it's Cena and the Usos against the Vision. Um, I think there's going to be some sort of War Games advantage. Maybe that's where they do Cena versus Rollins, right? Is for the War Games advantage. So that typically is going to be on the Raw before Survivor Series. So maybe they don't do that. But that's where I think we're heading is either Cena versus Breaker and MSG or some sort of six-man tag team match. Then, as I mentioned, that Survivor Series and War Games, John Cena goes over Brock Lesnar, and that gets us to John Cena's final opponent. Now, I do think there are three potential scenarios for John Cena's final opponent. I do not think John Cena is going to win his final match. So I think it needs to be a heel. I think it needs to be a guy WWE is going to strap to the moon. I think there are three conversations happening right now around who that will be. Those three men are obviously Braun Breaker, as I mentioned, Drew McIntyre, who has been trying to get after the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship belts for years, and Drew McIntyre being the Scottish psychopath, maybe being the one to retire John Cena. That gives him a boost the way defeating The Undertaker's streak did for Brock Lesnar. Or you could have the Ring General Gunther, who we have not seen since SummerSlam when he lost the World Championship to CM Punk. And Gunther retired Goldberg earlier this year. I think it'd be a very fascinating gimmick if you have Gunther being the retiree in WWE, almost like the new legend killer, right? Where you have him retire Goldberg, then you have him retire John Cena. And I don't think that's the direction they're going. If I had to guess, I think Cena versus Drew McIntyre, from all the innuendos I've heard, is probably going to be John Cena's final match. But I would love if they booked John Cena versus Gunther, at least on one of these final four free-ish shows, because I think that is a dream match. I think there are two missed opportunities that WWE would have had. I don't think John Cena versus Drew McIntyre is necessarily a dream match. Obviously, the one we all want to see, which we're not going to get to see, is John Cena versus Edge, aka Adam Copeland, in All Elite Wrestling. That's just the one nostalgia retirement tour match that we all wanted that we're not going to get. So with that in mind, I think the other two scenarios are dream matches in John Cena versus Gunther and John Cena versus Braun Breaker. If you want to shoot Braun Breaker to the moon, have him retire John Cena when Seth Rollins loses the World Championship, presumably at WrestleMania 42, as I've already predicted to Sami Zayn. That's where you get the vision started breaking up. You get inklings and clues. We lead to a Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins match at SummerSlam. Braun Breaker is now instantly a babyface, the way Dave Batista turned on Evolution and became an instant babyface against Triple H over 20 years ago. That's the direction I think we're going with the unpredictable badass in Braun Breaker. Again, I think it's going to end up being Drew McIntyre. I think it's going to be a way to get Drew McIntyre a very dangerous individual. Now, the question is, how does Drew McIntyre take the world championship? I actually think he'll eventually take it off his longtime rival, Sami Zayn. That makes sense to me because I think that The Rock is going to help Cody Rhodes defeat Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 42, as I've already talked about numerous times. So, the way I see it right now, John Cena's final five dates in WWE. At Crown Jewel, he would defeat AJ Styles. On the November 10th Raw in Boston, he will wrestle Seth Rollins. On the November 17th Raw in MSG, he will wrestle Braun Breaker. This is where it will become official, where Cena, Punk, Reigns, Cody, and I'm going to go ahead and say Randy Orton, Jey Uso, or LA Knight, one of those three, take out the Vision, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar in that War Game structure. Where in that War Game structure, John Cena will defeat Brock Lesnar to get his team the victory, and then he will be put on his back with a Claymore by Drew McIntyre in his final match, where I will be there at the Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C., December 13th, 2025, to watch history be made. Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.